Welcome, coin lovers and treasure hunters. Today we're revealing the top 5 rarest and most valuable wheat pennies that could be hiding in your collection. These coins aren't just pocket change, they're worth big money. Let's get started. First up, the 1927 no mint mark wheat penny, minted in Philadelphia, is a treasure hiding in plain sight, with some rare examples reaching an incredible market value of $2,800. At first glance, this copper coin may seem like an ordinary piece of pocket, change from nearly a century ago, but for serious collectors, it's a golden opportunity. Most people overlook pennies like this because they're so common in appearance. But the truth is, finding a 1927 example in pristine, uncirculated condition is extremely rare. And when such a coin surfaces, especially one with its original mint luster and razor-sharp details, it can demand jaw-dropping prices at auctions and private sales. Unlike later coins that had lower demand, the 1927 wheat penny carries with it the spirit of pre-Depression America, a time when optimism, growth, and industrial expansion filled the air. That historical backdrop adds emotional weight to this coin. Holding a 1927 penny is like holding a piece of the roaring 20s in your hand. It's from an era where silent films ruled, jazz echoed through city streets, and America's economic engine was roaring. But that very same decade would end in disaster, making coins from this period even more meaningful to historians and collectors alike. While millions of these pennies were minted, few were preserved well enough to survive the passage of time without corrosion, scratches, or heavy circulation wear. Most ended up in drawers, jars, or spent on everyday items, vanishing into the rhythm of daily life. It's the few that were stashed away and remained untouched that now shine in the spotlight. These high-grade examples, especially those graded MS65 and above, represent the top fraction of a percent of the original mintage. And it's these coins that bring the stunning market values we hear about, up to $23,800 depending on condition and demand. The artistry of the 1927 wheat penny also plays a major role in its appeal. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a tribute to one of the most admired leaders in American history. The reverse, decorated with 2 symbolic wheat stalks, anchors the coin in agricultural tradition. On a perfectly preserved example, the subtle design elements, the strands of Lincoln's hair, the fine lines in the wheat ears, remain sharp and crisp. These features are closely examined by grading experts, and the presence or absence of such detail can make or break the coin's value in the market. Another reason the 1927 wheat penny stands out is due to its role in completing early Lincoln cent collections. Every serious collector looking to build a full wheat cent set from 1909 to 1958 will eventually seek out the 1927 no mint mark edition. And while average condition pieces are relatively affordable, finding one in gem mint state is a daunting task. This scarcity at the highest grades is what drives competition at auctions, often pushing the price into 5-figure territory. That competition isn't just about the coin, it's about owning a rare piece of American monetary history that few others have in such condition. Interestingly, while there are no widely known dramatic mint errors for the 1927 penny, some collectors are now on the hunt for subtle variants, slightly off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, or die cracks that may have gone unnoticed for decades. Such varieties, when confirmed, can quickly boost the value of an already rare piece. In numismatics, even the smallest variation can mean the difference between a common find and a coin worth thousands of dollars. It's this potential for discovery that adds excitement to collecting coins from this era. What also makes the 1927 wheat penny fascinating is how its value continues to grow. As more collectors enter the hobby and competition increases, demand for older high-grade coins has intensified. Many rare coins have already been scooped up by private collectors and long-term investors, reducing the number available for sale. This rarity drives prices even higher and has made coins like the 1927 penny increasingly desirable. Some recent sales have stunned even seasoned numismatists, as coins once thought to be worth hundreds suddenly fetch thousands. This proves how dynamic and exciting the coin market can be when quality and history combine. The appeal of this penny isn't just financial, it's also deeply sentimental. For families, these coins are often found in heirloom collections passed down through generations. Discovering a well-preserved 1927 wheat penny in an old box or family album can be a life-changing experience. Many people have unknowingly sat on valuable coins for decades, only to learn their true worth much later. That moment of discovery, that thrill of holding a small object with such immense value, is part of what makes coin collecting so rewarding. Even lower-grade 1927 wheat pennies hold respectable value among collectors, especially those who appreciate the coin's age and design. Circulated examples in fine or very fine condition can still fetch several dollars, depending on the eye appeal and market trends. But for those lucky enough to possess a mint state piece, the reward could be extraordinary. In recent years, the spotlight on vintage Lincoln cents has grown brighter, with numismatics, media, books, and auction platforms highlighting the dramatic rise in value for key dates like this. In the vast world of coin collecting, the 1927 no-mint mark wheat penny stands as a powerful reminder that small, everyday items can hold exceptional historical and monetary value. With a current market value that can soar to $23,800, it's a coin that bridges the past with the present, offering both financial potential and a deeply nostalgic journey. For collectors, historians, or simply the curious, the 1927 wheat penny is more than a coin. It's a time capsule, a conversation starter, and a hidden treasure waiting to be appreciated. Next up, the 1929. No mint mark wheat penny is one of those hidden treasures in the world of numismatics that could surprise even seasoned collectors. At first glance, this coin might appear to be just another old Lincoln cent from the past, but its history, condition, and rarity can make it worth an astonishing $25,000 in today's market. This penny, minted in Philadelphia, the U.S. mint that did not use a mint mark, stands as a remarkable example of how an ordinary coin from everyday circulation can become an extraordinary collector's item. But what exactly makes the 1929 no mint mark wheat penny so valuable? To understand its significance, one must first dive into the era in which it was produced. The year 1929 marked the beginning of the Great Depression. Economic uncertainty, soaring unemployment, and nationwide hardship dominated American life. During this time, coins were heavily circulated and rarely preserved in high grades. The 1929 wheat penny, bearing the iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln, on the obverse and the classic wheat ears on the reverse, represents more than just currency. It holds a piece of American history. Every coin that survived in good condition tells the story of resilience, thrift, and endurance from that tumultuous era. Unlike coins from mints such as Denver, D, or San Francisco S, which are marked accordingly, coins from the Philadelphia mint bear no mint mark. This fact often leads many to overlook them, assuming they are common and of little value. However, the absence of a mint mark on a 1929 penny doesn't mean it's insignificant. In fact, certain surviving examples have fetched jaw-dropping amounts at auctions, primarily because of their pristine condition and rarity. Collectors and investors alike seek such gems, especially when they are graded by top agencies like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. When a 1929 no mint mark penny appears in uncirculated or mint state condition, its value can skyrocket into the thousands, sometimes even reaching as high as $25,000. Major contributor to this high valuation is the coin's grade. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect specimen. Most 1929 wheat pennies that survive today are heavily worn from decades of circulation. However, if a coin is discovered in mint state, for example, MS65 or higher, free from scratches, discoloration, or wear, then it becomes extremely desirable to collectors. These coins often have original luster, sharp design details, and surfaces that have stood the test of time without damage. A coin of this caliber, especially if encapsulated and certified by a reputable grading company, can easily be worth tens of thousands of dollars. That's where the $25,000 figure comes into play, reserved for only the rarest, most pristine examples. Another factor adding to the intrigue of the 1929 no mint mark wheat penny is its historical and cultural context. The Lincoln Cent series was introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin's design broke from tradition by featuring a real person instead of the symbolic representations used on earlier coins. The wheat reverse, used until 1958, symbolized prosperity and agriculture, a nod to the backbone of the American economy. So when you hold a 1929 penny in your hand, you're not just holding copper and zinc. You're holding a tribute to a legacy, a token of a generation's hardship and hope. Over time, coin collectors have developed a deep appreciation for the details that distinguish ordinary coins from extraordinary ones. These details may include slight differences in strike, unique die marks, or the sharpness of the design. While millions of 1929 pennies were minted, very few remain in uncirculated condition, making high-grade specimens remarkably rare. Coins with original mint luster, clean fields, and no contact marks are highly sought after. In addition, any anomalies such as doubling, off-center strikes, or die cracks can further increase the value, turning a valuable coin into an exceptional one. The market for rare coins, particularly Lincoln wheat cents, continues to thrive, driven by both emotional connection and financial potential. Collectors often start with circulated coins they find in change or inherit from family, only to later discover that certain pieces, like the 1929 no mint mark penny in pristine condition, can bring in life-changing sums. Auction houses have reported multiple cases where seemingly ordinary coins, once graded and authenticated, sold for thousands more than their initial estimates. Such surprises keep the world of coin collecting exciting and full of possibility. Demand for the 1929 no mint mark wheat penny is further fueled by its scarcity in mint state, as well as its role in completing Lincoln cent collections. A complete date and mint mark set of Lincoln wheat pennies is a prized goal for collectors, and having a top-grade 1929 Philadelphia penny fills a crucial spot. Since most examples available today are in lower circulated grades, competition for high-grade coins is fierce, often pushing prices to premium levels. Adding to its appeal is the rising popularity of coin collecting as both a hobby and investment. More people are recognizing the long-term value of rare coins, especially those that represent significant historical periods. The 1929 wheat penny fits perfectly into this narrative. It bridges the gap between personal history and national memory, serving as a tangible link to a past that shaped modern America. Whether held by a child in the 1930s or passed down through generations, every 1929 penny carries with it a silent story, waiting to be discovered and valued anew. So if you happen to come across a 1929 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark, don't underestimate it. Examine its condition carefully. If the coin is free from wear, has a bright finish, and appears well struck, it might be worth submitting for professional grading. Even coins in extremely fine or about uncirculated condition can fetch respectable sums, though only the top-end examples reach that elusive $25,000 mark. For collectors and enthusiasts, such a coin is more than just a monetary asset. It's a prized historical artifact and a testament to the enduring legacy of American coinage. The 1929 no mint mark wheat penny serves as a powerful reminder of how something seemingly small and ordinary can hold extraordinary value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, this coin stands as proof that treasure can still be found in the most unexpected places. Keep your eyes open, check your old jars of change, and always remember that history, rarity, and condition are the keys to unlocking the hidden potential of coins like this remarkable piece from 1929. Next up, the 1932 no mint mark wheat penny might appear modest at first glance, but beneath its copper surface lies a coin of significant historical and numismatic importance. With a market value reaching up to $1,700 for high-grade examples, this humble cent has transformed into a prized collectible for serious coin enthusiasts. Minted during the depths of the Great Depression, the 1932 wheat penny reflects one of the most difficult and defining eras in American history. As a result, it carries not only monetary value but also a powerful connection to the economic hardship, perseverance, and resilience of an entire generation. Philadelphia was the only mint to strike Lincoln cents in 1932, resulting in this issue, bearing no mint mark. That fact alone adds to its mystique, as it makes the 1932 wheat penny a single mint year release. With production levels sharply reduced during the Depression, just over 906 million pieces were minted. It stands among the lower mintage Lincoln cents of the era. This reduced mintage has helped elevate the coin's desirability, especially in uncirculated and near-perfect condition. Today, finding one that has survived in pristine form, untouched by circulation and age, is a challenge worthy of any seasoned collector's attention. The historical backdrop surrounding the 1932 wheat penny adds layers of depth to its significance. America in 1932 was in the throes of economic despair. Breadlines stretched across cities, unemployment rates soared, and banks were failing at an alarming rate. Money was tight, and every penny mattered to the average American. This meant most. Coins were used heavily and circulated endlessly, leading to wear and loss over time. Very few 1932 pennies were set aside or preserved in mint condition. Those that were saved now represent rare survivors of a turbulent age, and that scarcity is precisely what makes them so valuable today. What sets the 1932 wheat penny apart from other Lincoln cents is its unique balance of rarity, design integrity, and historical symbolism. The familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse reminds us of unity and leadership through adversity. It's almost poetic that this same portrait was circulating during one of the nation's darkest financial periods. The reverse, with its twin wheat ears flanking the denomination 1 cent, evokes a sense of simplicity and strength, an agricultural nod to the backbone of the country. Coins like this are often referred to as silent witnesses of history, quietly passing through hands while events of great magnitude unfold around them. When evaluating the market value of a 1932 wheat penny, condition is everything. Circulated examples and average grades still carry collector interest, especially for those assembling full date and mint mark sets. But the true stars of the market are those rare pieces that have retained their original luster, rich brown or red hues, and flawless surfaces. A 1932 wheat penny graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can fetch as much as $17,800 or more. These top-tier coins are few and far between, often commanding fierce bidding wars at auctions. The coin's composition also plays a role in its lasting appeal. Struck in 95% copper with a small blend of tin and zinc, the 1932 Lincoln cent maintains a classic reddish tone when well preserved. Over time, however, copper naturally darkens and tones, which is why color designation, such as red, RD, red-brown, RB, or brown, BN, is so important in determining market value. Full red coins are by far the most desirable and valuable, as they showcase the coin's original mint state in the most visually stunning way. Interestingly, no major mint errors have been documented for the 1932 wheat penny, making it a straightforward issue, but one that still rewards close scrutiny. Minor die cracks, lamination flaws, or doubled dies might exist on some examples and can add intrigue or slight premium if authenticated. However, it's the eye appeal, strike sharpness, and color preservation that truly move the needle in terms of valuation. Collectors seeking investment-grade coins are especially cautious about these elements, often paying premiums for coins with impeccable detail and minimal blemishes. Another aspect that enhances the 1932 penny's market presence is its increasing demand among both new and veteran collectors. As the Lincoln Wheat Cent series continues to grow in popularity, key dates and lower mintage coins like this are rapidly climbing the want lists of many numismatists. Since completing a full set of Lincoln cents is one of the most popular challenges, in coin collecting, coins like the 1932 become critical cornerstones. Their scarcity, especially in high grades, turns them into sought-after treasures that are as rewarding emotionally as they are financially. The coin's rise in value over the past few decades has been steady and impressive. Once considered a modest addition to a collection, the 1932 wheat penny now stands as one of the sleeper coins of the early Lincoln series. With more collectors recognizing its rarity and historical significance, prices have gradually increased, turning what was once a common cent into a coin worth thousands. Auction houses and private collectors alike have noted the rise in demand, and as availability shrinks, so too does the window of opportunity for acquiring one of these gems at an affordable price. For many collectors, the 1932 wheat penny represents more than just a rare coin. It's a symbol of endurance. It survived one of the harshest economic downturns in American history and continues to appreciate in value almost a century later. Its simple design belies its powerful legacy, and its Copper surface holds the quiet dignity of a nation that weathered incredible hardship. To hold one in your hand is to connect not only with monetary history, but also with the American story itself. Even circulated 1932 pennies hold appeal for those who value age and authenticity. They may show signs of wear, perhaps a smoothed out portrait or softened wheat lines, but they still carry the essence of the time they were made. For history enthusiasts, these coins are like miniature artifacts, objects that pass through grocery counters, coat pockets, and the hands of people whose stories are now part of our collective past. And for those who enjoy the hunt, sifting through old jars or inherited collections in search of such a piece remains one of the great joys of coin collecting. Collectors looking to secure a 1932 wheat penny today have a few paths to explore. Online, auctions, certified coin dealers, coin shows, and estate sales all offer opportunities. But caution is advised. Due to their increasing value, counterfeits and altered coins occasionally surface in the market. That's why experts strongly recommend purchasing only graded and authenticated coins from reputable sources. The assurance of a genuine, high-quality 1932 penny not only protects your investment but also gives peace of mind knowing you own a piece of true historical and numismatic significance. In the grand tapestry of American coinage, the 1932 no mint Mark wheat penny shines as a quiet yet powerful chapter. With a current market value that can reach up to $17,800, it's a testament to how even the smallest denominations can carry immense worth, both financially and historically. It reminds us that sometimes the rarest treasures aren't the ones made of gold or silver, but the humble copper coins that endured the storms of history and came out gleaming. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just beginning your numismatic journey, the 1932 penny is a story worth discovering, and perhaps, if you're lucky, one worth owning. Next up, the 1934 D Lincoln wheat penny might seem like just another vintage coin to the untrained eye, but for collectors, it stands as a highly desirable and increasingly valuable piece of American history. Struck at the Denver Mint, this coin carries the distinct D mint mark, setting it apart from its Philadelphia counterpart and anchoring it in the rocky economic terrain of post-Depression America. Today, this coin can command a market value of up to $15,200, especially in uncirculated mint state grades, a remarkable sum for a copper penny that once bought a stick of gum or a handful of candy. By 1934, the United States was beginning to emerge from the shadow of the Great Depression. Economic conditions were slowly improving under Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal policies, but confidence in currency and banks was still fragile. As a result, coins from this era were used rigorously in daily commerce, especially lower denominations, like the Lincoln cent. That means very few were preserved in pristine condition. For collectors, finding a 1934 D wheat penny that survived nearly a century with its luster intact is a rare and rewarding discovery. One of the fascinating aspects of the 1934 D penny is its production process at the Denver Mint, known for its consistently high-quality strikes during this period. The coin features the iconic bust of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with crisp lettering and fine lines visible around his coat and beard when preserved well. On the reverse, the two wheat stalks stand tall on either side of the words 1 cent, reflecting America's agrarian roots. While the design may be shared with other wheat pennies, the story behind each mint mark is what gives these coins individual identity, and the D mint mark on the 1934 issue tells a unique story. The 1934 D was minted in significant quantity, over 28 million pieces, but the vast majority were quickly absorbed into the economy and spent into circulation. Most of these coins experienced heavy handling, causing wear, scratches, and discoloration. That's why a 1934 D penny in brilliant uncirculated condition is so rare and sought after. Coins that have been graded MS65 or above by trusted grading companies like PCGS or NGC can sell for prices well into the $15,200 range today, depending on their eye appeal and color designation. Color and condition go hand in hand when it comes to this coin's value. A rich, original red tone, designated as RD in grading, can add thousands of dollars to the price. Red-brown RB coins follow in value, and then brown BN coins typically make up the most affordable end of the E scale. But even brown coins, if well struck and clean of distracting marks, can attract strong interest from collectors building a complete set of Lincoln cents by date and mint. In numismatics, context is just as important as condition. The 1934 D penny doesn't just reflect a moment in minting, it tells the broader story of America clawing its way out of financial ruin. Coins like this weren't saved out of luxury, but spent out of necessity. So the fact that any exists today in near-perfect form is nothing short of miraculous. This is what gives the coin emotional and historical weight, turning it from a simple copper disc into a meaningful collectible. Although no major errors are widely recognized for the 1934 D wheat penny, minor anomalies such as die cracks, repunched, mint marks, RPM, and planche flaws do exist and can add subtle premiums to individual specimens. These varieties appeal to collectors who enjoy examining their coins under magnification, looking for those small imperfections that actually increase a coin's value. In particular, strong strikes with bold details on Lincoln's hair and coat, lines as well as full wheat ears on the reverse, are highly desirable. The growing interest in early Lincoln cents has fueled a steady rise in demand for coins like the 1934 D. What was once seen as a modest mid-series issue has now become a must-have for serious numismatists. As collectors push to complete full runs of the wheat penny series, especially those focusing on mint marks and high grades, the value of scarcer issues like the 1934 D in exceptional condition continues to climb. Its combination of moderate, mintage, challenging condition rarity, and post-depression context makes it a standout coin from the 1930s. Collectors and investors alike are taking notice of the long-term growth in value associated with key date and semi-key date Lincoln cents. While many people overlook coins from this period, the 1934 D has proven to be a sleeper hit. Its ability to reach over $1,200 at auction isn't driven by hype, but by genuine scarcity in top condition. And as more of these high-grade examples disappear into permanent collections, fewer remain on the open market, further fueling demand and increasing the potential for future appreciation. For newer collectors, the 1934 D offers an opportunity to own a coin with real historical depth and investment potential. Even circulated examples can serve as a stepping stone into the world of numismatics. Meanwhile, for advanced collectors, acquiring a gem-quality 1934 D wheat penny with original red luster and sharp details is both a challenge and a triumph. Proof of patience, research, and commitment to the hobby. In a broader sense, the 1934 D penny is a reminder of how everyday objects can become extraordinary over time. Each coin holds a silent record of the era in which it was created. It passed from hand to hand, across counters, through pockets, and between generations, each exchange weaving its journey into the fabric of American life. Today, that journey culminates in recognition, preservation, and appreciation, making the 1934 D Lincoln wheat penny not just a collectible, but a legacy worth treasuring. Next up, the 1935 Lincoln wheat penny. Without a mint mark may appear ordinary to the average person, but for collectors, it represents a slice of America's pre-war economic recovery and a growing interest in numismatic preservation. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, this penny doesn't carry a mint mark, yet it's far from being overlooked in the collector community. In fact, the 1935 no-mint mark wheat penny can command a market value of up to $12,000 in uncirculated gem-quality condition, especially those graded MS65 or above by reputable services like PCGS and NGC. This penny was minted during a time when America was still struggling to climb out of the Great Depression. Jobs were beginning to return, industries were slowly being rebuilt, and the New Deal policies introduced by President Franklin D. Roosevelt were starting to make an impact. The coins produced in this era were symbols of hope and renewal, and the 1935 wheat penny is no exception. While more than 245 million were minted in Philadelphia, very few have survived in pristine condition, making the high-grade examples especially desirable and highly collectible. The 1935 wheat penny features the timeless design by Victor David Brenner, showcasing President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two stylized wheat ears on the reverse. It's a simple, dignified coin design that stood the test of time from 1909 until 1958. What sets the 1935 issue apart isn't just its historical context, but the subtleties in strike quality, color, and condition. Collectors look for rich, original red luster and clean, sharply struck details, especially on Lincoln's hair and coat, as indicators of top-grade specimens. Despite its high mintage, coins from 1935 are rarely found in mint-state red condition today. Most were heavily circulated, picked up scratches, dirt, and discoloration over decades of use. That's why surviving examples that still shine with that original mint brilliance can fetch prices upwards of $12,000. These coins are often considered hidden gems by collectors who appreciate the difficulty of locating a Philadelphia wheat penny from the 1930s in near-perfect shape. The absence of a mint mark on this coin is a detail worth noting. While Philadelphia minted coins traditionally bore no mark, many collectors underestimate their value. Yet this coin teaches us that rarity isn't always about how few were minted. It's also about how few were preserved. The 1935 no-mint mark wheat penny is a powerful example of how survival in high condition determines a coin's real-world value. What also makes this coin fascinating is its place in the timeline of U.S. history. By 1935, the country was cautiously optimistic. Massive public works projects were underway, providing jobs and stabilizing communities. Coins like the wheat penny passed through countless hands during this time, often unnoticed. Yet today, each preserved example tells a quiet story about resilience, progress, and the slow rebuilding of a nation battered by economic hardship. One intriguing aspect of this coin is how small features can dramatically affect its value. Collectors and dealers examine the coin's surface for signs of brilliance, lack of contact marks, and uniform color. A full red specimen graded MS65 or higher can easily cross the $12,000 threshold in today's numismatic market. Meanwhile, red-brown or brown versions, while more affordable, still hold considerable appeal and can be stepping stones for collectors building a complete wheat penny series. Unlike many other issues from the 1930s, the 1935 wheat penny doesn't have a long list of major errors or die varieties. However, some examples do exhibit minor die cracks, die chips, and even subtle doubled die features on the obverse or reverse lettering. These small deviations from the norm are fascinating for collectors who value uniqueness and love the challenge of spotting these details under magnification. While such errors don't always add massive value, they do make a coin stand out and create deeper engagement for the enthusiast. Another point of intrigue with this coin is its accessibility to collectors of all levels. While a gem-quality specimen might be worth $12,000, circulated versions can often be found for a few dollars, depending on the grade. That makes the 1935 no-mint mark wheat penny an ideal coin for both entry-level hobbyists and seasoned investors. It's a coin that can grow with your collection as you learn, upgrade, and refine your interests. What also sets this penny apart is how it reflects the evolution of coin collecting in America. In the 1930s, very few people saved coins with the idea that they might one day be valuable. Coin collecting didn't explode in popularity until the 1950s and 60s, so the number of 1935 wheat pennies that were carefully stored away in original rolls or albums is remarkably small. That historical reality fuels today's scarcity in top grades and justifies the strong prices seen at auctions and private sales. The demand for Lincoln wheat pennies has remained steady over the decades, but coins from the 1930s have seen a noticeable rise in interest. As collectors complete cent collections by date and mint mark, coins like the 1935 no mint mark issue become essential. And since the Philadelphia Mint produced no special markings, each example must stand out on condition alone. That sets a high bar for collectors and increases the thrill of the hunt. Modern grading services have added new clarity to the coin market by distinguishing subtle differences in strike, color, and surface quality. Coins graded MS65RD or higher are in an elite category that only a tiny percentage of original 1935 cents have ever reached. And with population reports showing how rare such examples are, their market value continues to rise, making $12,000 a realistic benchmark for coins in this category. While some might overlook this coin due to its lack of a mint mark or because of its large original mintage, serious numismatists understand its significance. It's a perfect example of how condition, context, and collectability intersect. The 1935 no-mint mark wheat penny stands tall among its peers, not because it's flashy or rare in raw numbers, but because it's a survivor, an emblem of quality that has endured decades of circulation and emerged as a star in high-grade collections. There's a kind of silent dignity to the 1935 penny. It didn't circulate with the drama of war coins or the rarity of low mintage dates, but it has quietly earned its place as a cornerstone in Lincoln cent collecting. It reminds us that sometimes value is found not in extremes, but in perseverance. The coin that was once spent for a newspaper or cup of coffee now sits proudly in albums and showcases, respected for its craftsmanship, history, and the story it tells of a changing nation. Whether you're a long-time collector or a curious beginner, the 1935 no-mint mark wheat penny offers something special. It bridges the past and present, showing us how even a common coin can rise to great heights when preserved with care. With a market value reaching $12,000 for the finest examples, this penny is proof that attention to detail, historical awareness, and a little bit of luck can turn a 1-cent piece into a true treasure. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning about this rare and valuable coin, make sure to subscribe for more fascinating coin discoveries and updates. Don't forget to like the video and stay tuned for more treasures from the world of numismatics.